Why you dey buy fake product, yeah? Make you dey careful, no go damage your life. You've got one life to live.
Buy original.
You should know where to go. The SON. Don't touch, don't touch.
It's fake.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It's bad.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It hurts.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It destroys.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It kills.
You should know where to go. The SON.
Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving lives through standards.
8 companies presented with the Standards Organization of Nigeria's Mandatory Conformity Assessment Program certificate. Stakeholders deliberate on standards for tobacco products as basis for control of products for consumer safety, plus a breakdown of the recently approved 128 standards by the Governing Council of the Standards Organization of Nigeria. You are watching Standard and You, Africa's flagship program on product safety and quality. It comes to you on the station at this time every Monday. Please accept the best regards of our Director General of the agency, management and competent staff of the Standards Organization of Nigeria as I welcome you to another interesting edition of the program Standard and You. My name is Ifoma Okonkwo and my pleasure bringing the program to you. Please don't go away. I'll be back shortly.
My experience with SON is fantastic because I never, in my wildest imagination, thought just one meeting would solve my problem.
I would like to first of all commend SON for this wonderful initiative and also for creating this particular department out of SON, because they are doing wonderful job.
Choose life and live. Buy original. Be original. SON.
Welcome to another half-hour sensitization on product safety and quality on television, and many thanks for watching. Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Osita Boloma Esquire, has emphasized the need for Nigerians to embrace quality and always resist the temptation to compromise on standards. Aboloma gave this charge at a meeting of the Technical Committee on Tobacco held in Lagos. He was represented at the event by the Director, Standards Development of the SON, Chinyere Egwon. Please take a look.
The Director General explained that his concerns over substandard of fake products is because of the devastating effect of such products on consumers and the nation. He said the SON is poised to tackle the menace and will continue to develop capacity in that regard to protect Nigerians from the dangers of substandard products. In his message to stakeholders at this meeting with Technical Committee on Tobacco Products, the Director General restated government's commitment at safeguarding Nigerians, especially smokers associated with tobacco and tobacco products. He advised the committee to come up with new ideas to complement the existing standards aimed at controlling the manufacture and use of tobacco and tobacco products in the country.
We are very aware of the commitment of the federal government in safeguarding and protecting the health of Nigerians from the risks posed by the use of tobacco and tobacco products. The reality is that in spite of warnings on cigarette packaging that tobacco smoking is dangerous to health, millions of people in Nigeria and other parts of the world still smoke cigarettes and other tobacco products, compelling the need to standardize and control the manufacture and use of tobacco products. Standards play very key role in regulation. Thus, the need to use standards to evaluate whether or not a product is in compliance with the desirable consumer safety features. The Standards Organization of Nigeria, since 2001, took up the challenge to rid the Nigerian market of substandard tobacco products and started establishing tobacco product standards, which serve as basis for tobacco products regulations, as well as the testing and confiscating and destroying substandard products that are found in the market.
For members of this technical committee, the stark reality that in spite of warnings on cigarette packaging that tobacco smoking is dangerous to health, millions still smoke and use tobacco products reinforces a compelling need to evolve standards to check the manufacture, use and distribution of tobacco and tobacco products in Nigeria.
The issues of standard, as it has been, as said by the DG. We are going to promote harmonization of conflicts. I'm promising you that no matter what happens, we are going to agree on a particular level that at least everybody will be happy. Then bearing in mind that resolutions that is technically acceptable and in line with acceptable regional and international standard will be considered for the sake of the future and for the sake of the nation.
A similar meeting held last year where members of the technical committee deliberated on 3 draft standards for and tobacco products. The committee concluded discussions on 2 of the standards and mandated SON and the subcommittee of experts to review the 3rd draft standard on other combustible tobacco products. For 2 days, this committee deliberated on the draft standards for 4 distinct categories of other combustible tobacco products. They are draft standards for cigar tobacco, draft standard for fine cut tobacco, draft standard for water pipe tobacco, draft standard for pipe tobacco.
So it's expected that at the end of this committee, if the technical committee approves these 4 standards after consideration, then we'll have standards that will deal with these specific areas of products, and then also will ensure that the users and the manufacturers have documents that will guide their activities, including the users as well. The standards will actually facilitate the manufacturing of these products, because now the stakeholders who are the manufacturers have standards that will guide their activities. Secondly, it will also ensure that the consumers, what they get at the end of the day, those who smoke, what they get at the end of the day is a product, though very dangerous, but at least with the use, it will minimize their exposure or whatever to the adverse effects of the product.
Meanwhile, the Director, Standards Development of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Chinyere Egwonwu, has described the recently approved 128 standards by the agency's Governing Council as veritable tools for Nigeria's industrial growth and development. Egwonwu told Standard & You in an interview that the standards, if strictly adhered to, will guarantee manufacturers a competitive edge to be relevant in both the local and global markets. She spoke on the relevance of the new standards.
There are 2 issues. One, in recent times, we've been having a lot of demand for standards, particularly for our own locally produced products. If you look at the lists, particularly for the food and agriculture, we see some Nigeria indigenous products like the one for millet, pap, the one standard for acha and the rest. So there are about 228 standards that cut across the various sectors. We have the ones for civil and building sector. We have standards for chemical technology, where you have a lot of standards. Then we have the ones for food and agriculture, the ones I've just talked about now, and then particularly the ones on service standards that dealt particularly on medical laboratory devices, medical and laboratory activities, and the one for informatics, health informatics, that has to do with e-records in health sector. And you know that recently government, even the state governments, are trying to go in their record keeping, and so these standards are there now to help them achieve what they want to achieve when it comes to e-record keeping. Apart from it helping the manufacturers within and even the users of those standards, you know that we have just signed the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, and so it's also going to play a very important role. Where we're getting ready for that, we want to make sure that standards are available for people so that they start preparing, because at this stage we are preparing for the takeoff of the African Continental Free Trade Area. So we are making sure that standards are available for our stakeholders to start working with, to developing their products, so that when the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement starts, when it starts in earnest, then we would have had people who are ready and our products will move out. So it actually facilitates trade, both local and international.
You're watching Standard and You, the SON's initiative on product safety and quality on television. Our transmission time is 6:30 p.m. every Monday on this station. 8 companies have been awarded the SON's mandatory conformity assessment program certificate for complying with the requirements of the Nigerian industrial standards. Standard and You was at the presentation of the Mancap certificates to the deserving companies in Shagamu, Ogun State. Please take a listen.
It's a mandatory product certification scheme introduced by the Standards Organization of Nigeria in 2006. The Mandatory Conformity Assessment Program, Mancap, ensures that all locally made products conform with the minimum requirements of the Nigerian Industrial Standards or Code of Practice, promoting fair competition at both domestic and international markets. For recipients of the Mancap certification, their factories have gone through SON's regular inspection, sampling and testing products, and have met the minimum requirements of Nigerian industrial standards.
They have taken them through the nitty-gritty of quality assurance and standardization, and now they have come to this feat, achieving certification. It wasn't on the platter of easiness. It was due to hard work and consistency, meeting the requirement of relevant standard. Now they have reached this feat. My advice, just like I said earlier, is that to maintain it. It could be easier to get to the top, but to stay on the top, that's where the problem comes. My encouragement is that they should not rest on their oars. What they have gotten today is a award for meeting the minimum requirement of the standard. They can exceed it. And SL will not relax in making sure that we help wherever we need to help them, bringing them up to international standard, just as we have done today. But let me assure you that what they have today for international competitiveness, they are there. The products that have been awarded certification today can compete with any product anywhere on the face of the earth. But however, they need to improve on it, because quality is a journey without a destination. It's a journey to infinity.
The Mancap certificate is valid for 3 years and subject to recertification. This, according to the SON, to ensure consistent compliance to standard procedures by industries, thereby promoting standardization and quality assurance.
Locally produced manufactured goods can compete confidently in the international market, and we are getting there, because even most of them goes beyond the minimum requirement of the standard. So we're happy to, any product we satisfy, we can boast of them anywhere in the world.
Their mode of operation has been professional. They have been very cooperative to ensure that corrective actions are taken where there's deviations in order to bring the product to perfection.
I'm very excited to collect the validation certificate again today. I'm very excited. It shows that we are still up there in quality production, because the regular checks by the SON crews and the regular improvements on our production has been certified today with the presentation of the certificate.
SON's chief executive, who was represented at the event, urged the manufacturers to remain committed to quality by ensuring strict compliance to standards, adding that the SON will continue to provide manufacturers with necessary support to enhance their processes.
Director, Inspectorate and Compliance of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Obiora Manafa, says the agency is committed to developing relevant human capital to enhance its operations in the delivery of the mandates of the SON to Nigerians and other stakeholders. He gave this assurance when he received the prestigious Fellowship Award of the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers in Bayelsa State. He told Standard and You that the SON has over the years developed quality infrastructure, especially state-of-the-art laboratories, to promote standardization and boost industrial activities in the country. He noted that the pursuit for knowledge by officials of the agency is critical to the fight against substandard or fake products in Nigeria. Obiora Manafa, a distinguished mechanical engineer, is a lead auditor of quality, environmental, occupational health, and safety management systems. He is currently on the board of the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers. In another development, the International Conference Center in Abuja was agog recently when the Nigeria Society of Engineers held its 12th fellowship conferment ceremony and lecture in the nation's capital. The Director, Inspectorate and Compliance Monitoring Department of the SON, Engineer Obiora Manafa, was among the 47 engineers who became fellows of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. He joins the league of the cream of professionals in delivering value services to the development of the country. Engineer Obiora Manafa was joined by family, colleagues, and friends. The 14th of October every year is World Standard Day. It's a day set aside by nations around the world to raise awareness on the relevance of standards. The theme for this year's celebration is Video Standards Create a Global Stage. Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Osita Boluma, in a statement, lauded advancement in video technology as a modern medium of expression, which he said has changed the world.
Aboloma explained that it has revolutionized entertainment, connected and still connecting friends and family the world over, as well as enriching communication experiences and enabling major improvements in medical care and education. The SON's chief executive explained that the innovation has driven a huge advancement in video quality, making it more accessible and helping people to share information and stories in vivid moving pictures. These gains in both the sophistication and accessibility of video, the DG noted, are built on the development and application of international standards. He said international standards meet industry demand for powerful compression capabilities and enable smooth transitions to the next generation of video compression technology, helping industry to maximize return on each wave of investment. International standards like those produced by the International Electrotechnical Commission (IEC), International Organization for Standardization (ISO), and the International Telecommunications Union (ITU) will continue to be main drivers in the continued innovation, promoting capability and interoperability and new investments. Aboloma affirmed that the SON, as the representative of these global standardization bodies in Nigeria, will continue to promote international standards through the adoption and modification for local use, manpower training through seminars, workshops, consumer enlightenment activities, and certification of products, including management systems, to international standards. He called on Nigerians to join the quality vanguard and support SON in its resolve to improve the lives of Nigerians through standards and quality assurance.
The Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, brings a new lease of life to Nigeria SMEs. SON has put a greater premium on developing standards to improve made in Nigeria products for export. We have developed more standards for products like sesame, cocoa, gari, and more, courtesy of our accredited state-of-the-art laboratories. In keeping with the federal government's ease of doing business, SON has simplified its processes and turned around time for Mancap, Mancap, and other certification processes. SON has intensified market surveillance, raids, and seizures to reduce substandard products in circulation, and offenders shall be prosecuted. Join SON in ridding our nation of substandard products. If you see something, say something. Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving lives through standards.
A big congratulations to our own Director of Inspectorate and Compliance, Engineer Obiora Manafa. Accept the best wishes of the Director General and staff of the SON. Feedback is next, and Alimot Osifo is our guide.
Hello and nice to have you on the feedback segment of the program. I am Halimot Osifo. We strive to be the best and desire the good things of life. But the question is, how do you know the best things? Through standards. Standards can be described as a benchmark for quality. They specify characteristics or performance levels of products, processes, services, or systems. In Nigeria, Standards Organization of Nigeria is the highest standard body vested with the responsibility of elaborating and enforcing standards for various products and processes. These technical standards are developed based on agreements reached by diverse entities such as the Standards Organization of Nigeria, public authorities, researchers, consumers, and interest groups. SON conducts training to support organizations in the understanding and use of standards to enable them access the benefits for their organization or sector. Therefore, as a manufacturer or importer, you are expected to comply with the available Nigerian industrial standards. Imagine a world without standards. Standards facilitate everyday life and make businesses better. Standards provide a roadmap to better regulation. Standards makes products better and give customers value for their money. Standards give consumer confidence that products are safe, reliable, and of good quality. Linda from Abuja says, I bought a new mattress with the brand name Continental 2 months ago. I have not enjoyed it since as it keeps sinking in as I sit or lie down. Thank you so much, Linda, for reaching out to us. Please go back to the point of purchase where you bought the products from and make a complaint. If nothing is done to address the situation, you can go to SON office in Abuja with your proof of purchase and we'll take it up from there. Uzuamaka from Port Harcourt says, I watched the program talking about plastic bottle recycling. How do I reach them to submit the ones I have collected? Thank you so much, Uzuamaka, for reaching out to us. The technical committee meeting you watched was on standards for recycled PET bottle. You are advised to go to any of SON's offices near you for information on where to take your used PET bottles to. Anonymous messenger says, why do they write 100 yards on electric cables when it's not up to 60 yards? That's a case of false declaration and it's aimed at cheating consumers, which SON is totally against. We have had series of raids to take off bad electric cables off the shelves, and just 3 weeks ago, the DG of SON met with manufacturers of cables in Nigeria to admonish those found in criminal acts to stop or face the wrath of the law. In Owerri alone, we have been able to evacuate substandard electric cables worth 500 million naira, and we will continue to do more to ensure that we sanitize the markets of fake electric cables. And that concludes this week's episode of the program Standard and You. 0705-972-4455 is the number to send in your messages to with your full name and location. Tag along with us on Facebook at Standard and You, Instagram and Twitter at Standard and You _. Remember, we have a vibrant YouTube channel where you can watch previous episodes online at youtube.com/Standard and You. Don't just view, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. As always, buy original, sell authentic, and use only the best. Enjoy the rest of the week.
Why you dey buy fake product, make you dey careful, no go damage your life. You've got one life to live.